What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer and welcome back to another Overwatch news video. Today we've got a few topics to talk about, including the new Rialto map and Hanzo Rework, which are now live on both PC and console. Additionally, a new Brigitte nerf has been announced, which will be coming to the PTR fairly soon, along with some new buffs for Ana. And lastly, Jeff Kaplan announced 3 new social changes which will be coming to Overwatch sometime this summer. And these could be pretty interesting. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. So earlier today, the new Rialto Escort map, as well as the new Hanzo rework, and changes for Genji, Junkrat, Brigitte, Tracer, and Lucio have all gone to live servers. If you want to see the details about what these new hero changes are exactly, then I made a video going over all of them while they were still on the PTR. So I'll have a card linking to that on screen so you can check it out. But even more exciting, we have the announcement of yet another Brigitte nerf, which will be coming to the PTR shortly. According to Jeff Kaplan, the PTR build, when it goes live, has some balance adjustments. The max armor for Brigitte's ultimate is down from 150 to 100. We're also discussing some other changes that might make it onto the PTR when it goes live, or might go live next week, if at all. So Jeff talked about earlier in the post that apparently they're a bit behind with working on the PTR due to some unexpected bugs they came across, and originally this nerf was supposed to go to the PTR earlier this week. But regardless, it is pretty great to hear that Blizzard is doing something about the Brigitte dominance that we've seen, at least in the first few days already of Season 10 of competitive. I think dropping the max armor from 150 to 100 is a pretty good change, as that is just a ton of armor, and even 100 armor is still quite a bit. Now, we of course don't have specifics as for these other changes that Brigitte will be getting. If I had to take a guess, I'd say it probably has to do with her shield bash, since that's the ability that most people seem to be having an issue with. But for the time being, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Hopefully the PTR will go live soon, possibly even later today, but also maybe not until tomorrow or even next week. Now, in the same post, Jeff Kaplan also talks about Ana, and says that they're trying some interesting things with her. I'm not sure which of the changes, if any, will make it onto this PTR cycle. Some of the changes required new tech, so we need to keep testing before rushing something out. Please interpret this as, we're interested in making some minor improvements to Ana, but they may or may not make this PTR cycle. We are also looking closely at Brigitte, and we are reading and appreciative of the feedback. So, Ana, at long last, is going to be getting some more buffs because, of course, she's one of the heroes that currently isn't in a particularly strong spot right now. Again, we unfortunately don't get any specifics, however Jeff does mention that this change will require new tech. Now, we don't know exactly what that means, but it likely indicates that whatever this new thing is won't just be a simple cooldown reduction or damage buff or healing buff, but rather a whole new mechanic of some kind. And that doesn't even mean a brand new ability, it could just be an addition on top of a current ability she has. For example, I've seen people theorize that maybe she'll get healing darts that can penetrate enemy barriers so that she can heal teammates on the other side, or even deal damage to the enemy. Now, I'm not so sure whether or not that ability in particular would be particularly balanced, but it's an example of what Blizzard could be indicating when they say new tech. Personally, I don't play very much Ana myself because I'm terrible at aiming, so if you have any ideas about what they could be doing that you think would make her better, then be sure to leave those thoughts down in the comments below. And finally, moving on now to our last topic for today, we got a rather strange developer update video, which was only posted on the Korean Overwatch YouTube channel. And in this video, Jeff Kaplan is specifically talking to the Korean player base. Now, the large majority of this developer update has to do with toxicity and Blizzard's plans to try to continue their ongoing battle to fight toxicity and make Overwatch a more welcome, friendly, and enjoyable place. However, at the end of the video, there's a pretty interesting announcement he makes, so I'm just going to real quick play that part for you.
Now, there are other things that we would like to do and are working on that is not on the punishment side of things. We all know that players who exhibit bad behavior, we'd like to see them either punished or removed from the game. But we also want to start making efforts towards players who are exhibiting positive behavior and reinforcing the positive behavior in the game. I'm very pleased to announce that early this summer, there will be 2 major social systems coming online that we will tell you more about very soon, but early in the summer, you will learn about those social systems that we've built to help encourage positive behavior more. And we have a third system that will come either in the late summer or early fall of next year that's also a tremendous effort towards encouraging players to be better to one another, but also to have more control over their own play experience.
So first up, incentives are coming in late spring or early summer to encourage positive behavior. Now this is something that people have talked about before. Of course, we have people getting punished and banned for doing bad things, being toxic, throwing, whatever. However, there's no system that rewards good players and makes you feel like if I do something good, then something good will happen to me. Now this is likely going to be one of the new social systems that Jeff talked about, but I'm really curious as to what exactly it will be. Perhaps alongside the report player option, there'll be an ability to commend a player, and once someone gets commended enough, they might get some sort of message acknowledging that people have commended them, or they might actually get in-game loot, like maybe they'll get a loot box for every, I don't know, 20 commendations they get, or maybe just currency, or who knows. I feel like this runs the risk of people gaming the system and just grouping up to commend each other so they all get free loot, so maybe we wouldn't see something quite like that, but overall, I'm super excited to see how this plays out. I think that this honestly could do a lot of great things for Overwatch and especially the community. Now, moving on to the other changes that Jeff talked about, there are social changes that'll be coming later in the summer or even the fall, which will give players more control over their own Overwatch experience. We actually got a post on the forums yesterday from Scott Mercer talking about pretty much the same thing. Going forward, we're also really excited about some new social features we'll make available in the summer. We'll talk about those more when they're closer to being ready for testing on the PTR, but they should give players even more ways to control their gameplay experience online. Now, there are a lot of things that might come to mind when you hear this. The big ones I think are either role select or some kind of clan/guild system, and I think that this actually might be what we're going to see. Now, I've had my hesitations in the past about whether a role select or a clan system would actually fix a lot of the problems that people see in Overwatch. I think people have a tendency to over-glorify the impacts of something like a guild in a game like this. I think you'll find that there'll be still quite a bit of toxicity even if we do have them in-game, but depending on how the Overwatch devs are planning to play it out, maybe we could see something along these lines, and hopefully it would end up improving the game. Although I suppose it could be something entirely different that nobody's even thought of yet. If you have any ideas about what sort of new social change this might be, then please be sure to leave your thoughts about it once again down in the comments below. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to leave your thoughts about anything I talked about here today down in the comments, and otherwise leave a like if you enjoyed this video and share it with a friend if you really liked it. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and turn on notifications to both help out my channel and keep up with all my future Overwatch content. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.